Hey everybody, welcome back in the shed. I'm Troy Shaw, and with me, with the weather report, is Dave Griffiths. What's going on, Dave?
Well, for those who lived through it last night, we had a hell of a lightning storm. One that...
Today's June 13th, so...
Yeah. Popped the transformer next lot over, so I lived without power for probably 18 hours. But it's back on now, and we're in the shed, and... hopefully we won't get any of that mess tonight.
Hope not. Speaking of some power, we have a man in the shed who plays guitar with some power. All the way from the big city of Malone. Tommy Kruger. How's it going, Tommy?
Yeah. Hill County.
Hill County.
Hill County, Texas. That's what I'm talking about here today.
All right.
Well, maybe a little bit about my guitar work. I don't know.
Speaking of your guitar work, when did you first pick up the guitar?
Well, I tell you what, I never answered that by saying, well, when I first picked it up, because I built my first guitar.
Really?
Okay, if you can create this image in your mind, as a boy, I built a bow and arrow, and I did away with the arrow, so I had a bow with one string, and I cut some notches on the bow, like a fret, and I put an empty roll of toilet paper over the end of it and slid it tighter and tighter, kind of like a ding ding ding, like a sitar sound.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And then came the K guitar and Montgomery Ward and Sears type stuff. Yeah, I guess I was 12 or 13.
So who were your influences back then?
Back then was folk music. Peter, Paul, and Mary.
Pete Seeger?
No.
Didn't like Pete?
I wasn't that smart back then. I just caught on to Peter, Paul, and Mary because of their harmonies, pretty much.
Yeah, Leaving on Jet Plane, that was an easy hum-along song, wasn't it? I remember that.
Yeah. And then, after that, well... as far as influences goes, as far as performing or wishing I was about to perform, might have been the British invasion. Of course, we're familiar with the Hermits and the Beatles and Stones and stuff, and everybody has their favorite. I kind of sorted it all out. I like the Beatles once again because of harmony. It goes back to the harmony of the folk days, I suppose.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So when did you form a band when you were younger, or have you always played kind of solo like you do these days?
High school. Yep. A 3 or 4 piece in Hill County. And
so you're from. Have you always, you were born and raised in Malone?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Born and raised in a house right outside of Malone.
Is that where you live today?
I moved back there 20 years ago, yeah. And, let's see. Let me go back and catch up on some things here. Right after high school, I did a little bit of day labor, a day job in Dallas, Texas. And a few months later, I joined the Air Force. And went to San Antonio for basic training. And they sent me to Wichita Falls, Texas as a permanent job. I spent a year there and volunteered for Vietnam, and I remember the day I filled out the papers for that request to go to Vietnam. They said, well, there's 3 places on here on the farm, fill it out, so add 3 different countries if you want to. I said, okay, well, I put Vietnam number 1, Japan number 2, Germany number 3, and I went to Germany. Go. Okay.
I think that's not a bad gig considering what was going on in Vietnam at the time. So.
Well, I wanted to do my part, but fate has its way of slapping you around a little bit, and so I went to Frankfurt, Germany for 3 years.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Any music in Frankfurt?
Yep. I played music almost all the time I was there, playing bass for a show band, mostly black people, kind of a Sam and Dave type of act.
Right.
And I played bass, and we did one-nighters in different army casernes. And then the guys in the group were military out of Frankfurt, and they finally got discharged, and so I switched over to playing bass in a country band, and we played every weekend, and just a busy music time over there in Germany.
Was this a military associated band, or was it outside of the military?
Outside.
Okay.
Yeah.
I know Tony Calhoun, when he was in here, he was in Germany as well, in a band.
Oh.
But it was with the Army.
Yeah,
I guess
so.
it was. But it was like a show band. I think it wasn't. They weren't playing Stars and Stripes Forever and stuff like that. They were a swinging band.
Now we were a funky. We were a funky.
Well, yeah, I think he was a
man. You talking about funky? Oh man, we were called the Plantations, and just great memories of Germany. I served my country. They sent me where they wanted me to go, and then I got out of the service and went to Dallas, Texas, and started my own group of top 40 covers. And
what was the name of that band?
Chimney Hill.
Well, it's serendipitous then that you're here, because you are right at the edge of the Chimney Hill neighborhood right over here.
Oh.
But you didn't know that.
No.
If you go out my driveway and go up 100 yards, that's the beginning of the Chimney Hill neighborhood.
So I could have said Vietnam, Japan, Germany, or Chimney Hill. They might have sent me to Chimney Hill.
We might have been hanging out years ago drinking beer. All right. Well, that's pretty cool. So I guess at some point you left Dallas and decided to get back to your roots, Hill County roots.
Yeah.
Was it a music thing, or just a job that you had down here?
No, it wasn't a job. It's always about the music. And let me see. I'm trying to. Coming back to Malone, population 253.
It's 252 right now, because
it was more of a kind of a. In my soul, I wanted to go back home. Because I had been all over the country playing music, all over the U.S.
Really?
Yeah.
In what way?
Most memorable was a couple of them. There was a band out of Rochester, New York, called Old Salt. And they were performing in Dallas. I think the club was called 57 Doors. I think that's correct. And they lost their bass player. And somehow they heard about me, and I joined the band and went to Rochester, New York, and they were the number one local. I mean, they had it going on. A lot of original material.
What year was this?
75.
Playing original stuff, or playing covers, or a little bit of both?
Both. It was both. Yeah. Yeah, they had a big crowd, and they were always open for name acts. And I remember we opened for Roger McGuinn, and
really,
and I can't think of the other act. It was a big festival, and they let me sing a song. I was playing bass, and I sung. Well, I think I'll sing some Buddy Holly. So I did Peggy Sue.
Was that your first time singing in a band, or your high school band? Were you the singer in that band?
I guess you'd say, yeah, the Old Salt band in Rochester, New York gave me the opportunity to actually be a singer. And then when I finished that gig, I came back to Dallas and wound up being in a duo, playing bass, basically as a sideman again. And I finished with that man, a guy. His name was Scott, and we were doing well in Dallas. Then in college, in junior college in Dallas, I met David Evans. We once again went duo, and we hooked up after playing on Greenville Avenue in Dallas at the Easy Parlor. Hello.
I don't think it's still there.
Well, it's called Snuffers now.
Oh, it's been Snuffers since I moved to... Oh, I know exactly where it is.
Yeah, there you go. And anyway, he and I finally hooked up with a restaurant chain called Chelsea Street Pub, and they booked us a duo all over at every venue they had from Florida to Arizona.
So was he playing guitar and you were playing bass and you were singing harmonies?
Yep. And I finished that, I guess, around 1980. And that's when I went solo, around Dallas and Fort Worth, playing a whole lot of the Fort Worth Stockyards, White Elephant Saloon, among others.
So when you went solo, what kind of music were you playing? Were you playing originals, covers, a little bit of both, country, blues, rock?
Straight covers, country. That's what they wanted, and that's what I was good at. I had been writing some, but never took it seriously. In hindsight, I wish I would have, but that's the way the wheel turned at the time. And so Chelsea Street Pub kept us busy, and then solo around the Fort Worth Stockyards and Dallas at the West End. Well, that lasted for a good 10 years.
So you were on the Chelsea Street Pub circuit for 10 years.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. And
Classy Blue did the same thing. A lot of bands around here were on that circuit.
Oh.
I don't know for how long. Probably not 10 years, but...
Well, we can... I got bragging rights. Our duo was the number one as far as making the Chelsea Street Pub a bunch of money.
Were you here when there was one at the mall?
I think it closed like shortly after or before I got here.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
I know what you're talking about.
Did you ever play the one here at the Richland Mall?
No,
No.
I never did. Never played that one. I think it was after we left them. I think they opened after we left them.
So you got a good 10-year run at doing that gig. Then what? So you're looking around 1990 or so.
Mm-hmm. Then I got serious putting my original songs together and came up with a 10-song cassette tape, and it's called 1990. I was known as Tom Kruger back then, but I go by Tommy now because when you go back home, everybody calls you by your childhood name. So I just went back, and I'm Tommy now. So anyway, the 1990 thing, it's straight country, but it's all originals. And then I continued solo around Central Texas. And in '97, I recorded a CD in Irving with Phil York, a known producer that did some Willie stuff, and you know, to name drop a few. But I was tickled to have him and some studio musicians, and it's top-notch radio airplay ready CD. So that was '97, and since then I've been living off of that. So everything's cool.
So did you get some airplay from your recordings?
Mm-hmm.
Really?
Yeah.
Did it lead to, as we like to say, hookers and blow?
Is it supposed to rain tonight? or there's a cloud. Oh, I see a big cloud coming.
Sometimes we'd rather talk about the weather. Yeah. Well, anyways,
Dave, I'm gonna make you sit in the truck. Okay, where was it?
That's usually our brush with greatness. How far did it go? And that's sort of the line.
Oh.
We can tell. Did you?
But wait a minute. I wasn't through yet.
Okay.
No,
Please continue.
Oh.
Troy, get me a beer. Seriously.
I'm glad Troy's here. I got somebody to talk to. You know. I hired a record promoter and sent my CD to Europe. And it went to number 12 on the European charts. Thank you very much.
Wow.
As Tom Kruger.
As Tom, yeah. It was big in England and France and so on. But I did not have a manager or a booking agency to follow up on it, so I never went to Europe to pay for it. I just didn't have the ducks lined up. So here we are, you know.
Well, thank goodness. Otherwise, you'd be too big for the shed.
When you're not going to get an air conditioner.
Yeah, I know.
Wait till July and August.
Okay.
Yeah, I apologize about the humidity. I mean, I ordered it in for this show. We'll take a break here in a second. We'll crank on the fan, cool down, and
Well, let's hear one of your classic country songs that you might have done. You think you could pull one out of your hat, or what do you want to do?
Well,
Let's do what you want to do.
I can do a cover classic and then one of my own.
okay.
Okay, let's start with a cover classic, and then we'll talk a little more, and we'll do some more music later on.
You got it.
All right.
All right, I got a song for you folks. Talking about other people's songs and songwriters and such. I got a Merle Haggard song that I went digging for and dug up, especially for this show, In the Shed, today. And I'm going to play it, have some fun with it, and make it up as I go along so y'all can kind of groove with me. Big city, turn me loose, set me free. I'm tired of this dirty old city. I'm tired of too much work and not enough pay. Yeah. I'm tired of this dirty old sidewalk. I think I'll walk off my steady job today. Yeah. Turn me loose, set me free. Yeah. Somewhere in the middle of Montana, baby. Yeah. Give me all I've got coming to me. You can keep your retirement, yeah, and your so-called Social Security, yeah. I said, turn me loose, set me free, yeah. One time. I've been working every day since I was 20. Yeah. Ain't got a thing to show for all the things I've done. Yeah. Some folks never work, but they got plenty. I think it's time guys like me, we had some fun. Help me now. Turn me loose, set me free, somewhere in the middle of Montana. Give me all I've got coming to me, yeah. You can keep your retirement, baby, and your so-called Social Security. A big city, turn me low, set me free. Big city, turn me loose, set me free. You hear what I'm talking about? Oh, yeah, you know what I'm talking about. Now I'm free, baby. Yeah.
Woohoo! All right, Tommy. So
Yes,
I
yes.
noticed that your tuning is a little different than most guitars. Talk about that.
Well, I've tuned from the normal C.
E.
Yeah, C. The normal E. The normal E. I tuned it way down, all the strings down to C. Because I like singing lower and lower and lower as you know.
As you get older and older and older.
Yeah, right. Wait a minute, Dave.
So when did you first discover that you could tune down to C and play along?
Kind of recently, about a year ago, I decided to take that plunge, and that allows me to, being an old bass player, to actually play bass with my thumb.
Yeah.
And coming through the sound system at a live performance, I adjust the sound system to where it sounds like a bass playing, with somebody kind of finger picking along with it. And at my live performance, that
way you don't have to pay a bass player to play along with you.
Oh, I'd be more than happy to pay one, but I figured I'd just do it by myself.
Yeah.
I think being able to do that is kind of it's kind of my own little niche, I guess you will. And
yeah, it's definitely unusual, and it's got a good sound, cool sound for sure.
Thank you, Bob.
Didn't have to raise the bridge or anything like that when you tuned it way down?
All
right.
No, this old Alvarez guitar, you can punish this puppy until the cows come home, and it just keeps on playing.
Those Japanese, man, they don't know how to make a guitar.
I'm telling you. Yeah. And so along with that bass playing, kind of, that I do with an acoustic guitar, to get a bigger thump, I pat my foot on a, what do you call it, a thump box?
Yeah.
Yeah, I noticed the
You got
other
a mic
day.
on. You got the mic on the little pedal down
It's just a
there?
box with a microphone in it?
Yep,
or what
a
is
box with a microphone in it.
Yeah.
That's my kick drum.
it? Yeah.
And my little left happy foot is always right on tempo, so I just follow my left foot.
Yeah.
That's the good foot.
The good foot. Thank you, Father.
So you did a video that Troy shot down there at RPT, Richard Paul Thomas's studio down in Salado.
That's right. That was about
I was down there for a
That
couple.
was a week ago.
a week ago.
Yeah.
Troy's got a little sideline doing that. I've been down there for at least a couple of them, right?
Yeah.
It's pretty nice.
Real nice.
Richard's been here too, by the way,
Oh.
in the shed.
Ah.
He was great.
In case Richard's listening.
Hi, Richard.
So what made you decide to go in the studio and record? Are you gonna put this out as an album too, and kind of put the videos out on YouTube and that kind of deal, or what,
Well,
what are
you
your
know,
plans with it all?
Okay. Well, I'm catching up with technology. It took me, a while to realize how important it was to have a video on the internet, on YouTube. Basically, I'm using it as a a tool right now for exposure and booking purposes. Hooking up with the booking agencies and going with it. And I tell you that experience down in Salado, Texas, with Troy and Richard was really exciting. Any of you out there listening that want to go for it? The price is right, technology is perfect, and these guys are great to work with, and they always have cold beverages. And
That's the thing I would put first. They always have cold beverages,
Yeah.
and they're great to work with, and the technology is on point. But anyways, don't let me direct you too much.
anyhow, that's yeah. But that's what's going on.
So do you have a booking agent or manager of any kind right now, or are you working towards that?
I have a booking agency that's ready for me. They're just waiting for this video tool to come out, and they put it on their site. And they said they got 1,500 venues to shoot it out to, and booked me as a solo, guitar and my little thump box, and here we go. Got my old hippie van, ready to boogie.
There you go. So up until this point, I mean, have you been playing much around Central Texas, or what have you been up to?
I would call it hiatus due to personal reasons at home, and I was more or less a caregiver to my wife, and she passed about 3 years ago. I said, well, I'm going to get back into it full-time, music, and so here we are today.
Good deal.
So have you been a musician all your life, or did you have other jobs along the way, or?
You know what? I'm going to have to say 95% music.
Good for you.
For some reason, I thought you were a truck driver. Am I totally wrong on that?
That I did for a short stint while she was sick, and I was a caregiver. I drove a truck, and it was like a fish out of water.
Like a semi truck?
Yeah, 18-wheeler.
Yeah.
All over the U.S. That was...
Big old Freightliner?
I'm proud of the truckers out there. I guarantee you, I know what they're going through, and they deserve every penny they get. But when you're a fish out of water, you got to go home and pick up your guitar, and I'm in it.
So when you were driving the truck, did you stop along the way and play any gigs?
No, never enough time to do that.
Yeah.
You just sleep, eat, drive. Well,
maybe squeeze a shower in every week or so.
Yeah, every week. Way to go, Dave.
One thing
I don't know what goes on in your house. I don't want to come by your house no more.
One thing I noticed about your songs, you have you have a song about a girl named Tina. You have a song about a girl named
Pamela Brown.
You have a song about a girl named... Do you have any more? Are those only two? I just assumed you had a lot of songs about some women along the way.
About women, yeah. There's Texas Tina and Pamela Brown.
I guess that's all you need.
But there's some other songs about women that don't have a name, so it's kind of open there.
These aren't truck stop gals we're talking about here.
Some of them, they would jump into the cab and say, "Hello, Tommy." I said, "Well, baby, what's your name? I can write you a song."
I prefer cash, thank you very much.
Cash. I got your cash.
Well, get in cash.
So anyway, trucking's done. I'm back slapping my guitar around and doing shows. I'm really tickled to be here with you guys today, and the ball keeps rolling. That's all we want. We want to keep the ball rolling and be loved by somebody and appreciated by somebody.
Well, we appreciate you. We appreciate you being in the shed with us.
Maybe not as much as Truck Stop Tina, but we appreciate you.
Hey, speaking of Tina, I'm going to throw this out here, folks. There's a young lady that works in Elmont, Texas, as a bartender at the American Legion 121, and she's the head nacho there, and her name is Tina. So she is now my Texas Tina. Even though it was fictitious.
She's your muse. Yes.
Muse. What is a muse?
A muse is usually a person of the opposite sex that inspires you to create usually music.
So he created this song before.
Well, this is a family show.
Before he knew what muse meant.
No, anyway, yeah. Her name is Tina. She works over at the American Legion 121 in Elmont, Texas, which is a suburb of Waco, Texas. So anyway, and Pamela Brown is about a girl that I met in Tokyo, Texas, over there by West.
At the bar?
I keep saying Texas, but, People in
Tokyo.
people in East London may not know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
So I got to say Texas as much as I possibly can.
Because this is worldwide.
Because we know it's
There you go.
Tokio.
Tokio. That's right, Texas. Yeah.
Yeah. Not
I think they're
not the land of the rising sun.
No. I think Tokyo's population of 3.5 or something like that. It's a community.
That's less than the one in Japan.
Oh man.
Anyhow,
Anywho,
Yeah.
you want to sing that song about Tina?
I love Texas Tina. The song.
Do ya?
The song.
Do ya?
I don't know Texas Tina.
Well,
I like the song Texas Tina.
I tell you what.
It's one of my favorites.
While we're talking about the real Texas Tina, go by there in Elmont
Texas.
and introduce yourself to her and tell her she's known now. She's the sweetest thing. That's all I can
Do
say.
you play in Elmont? Do you have any?
play at that
do you have any
thing?
gigs that are kind of every week or every month that you have booked right now? Or
Well, because of this video in process, I kind of laid back from booking, waiting for somebody else to do it, and that's what's up right now. But I do have a gig coming up in this Friday in Hillsboro, Texas.
well, this will probably be out after.
Oh,
the
after.
gig. Yeah.
Okay. Well, y'all remember the folks over there at Ranger Cafe in Hillsboro, Texas, and KHBR Hillsboro for playing my music.
Cool.
Okay. All
Yeah.
right.
You're getting your music out there.
Yep.
All right. Well, let's hear some Texas Tina.
All right.
All right.
All right. I got a song that I wrote for you guys. It's called Texas Tina. I'm gonna have to look back and remember where and when I was when this song came to mind. Out of the blue, folks. I was driving down Valley Mills Drive in Waco, Texas, on my way to a U-Haul place to get a hitch put on my hippie van. And all of a sudden, I was in the waiting room while they were doing that work to my van, and all of a sudden, Texas Tina just, Texas Tina. Has anybody seen her? She's 5'2", and her eyes are greener. Mercy. Texas Tina, yeah. Has anybody seen her? She's 5'2", and her eyes are greener. She hails from a farm just south of Sagina. Has anybody here seen a Texas Tina? Oh, what? Well, she went to the store with a $20 bill for a case of beer, yeah, and some headache pills. What? She been gone too long like never before. You know what? She might have run out of gas in her 49 Ford. Ooh, you know what I'm talking about. Texas Tina. Oh. Has anybody seen her? She's 5'2", and her eyes are greener. Oh yeah. She hails from a farm just south of Sagina. Has anybody here seen the Texas Tina? Mercy. I say. One more. We got a date tonight for some three-step dancing at the Frog Branch in Malone, yeah. We love it with a passion, yeah. Well, it's not like her to be so late, no, it ain't. You know what? Well, I love that girl, so I'll just wait. You know what I'm talking about? I'm talking about Texas Tina. Look at it. Has anybody seen her? She's 5'2" and her eyes are green. Oh, look out. Yeah. She hails from a farm just south of Sagina. Has anybody here seen my Texas Tina? Oh! Yeah. Oh! Look at here. Well, wait a minute. The telephone's ringing. Yeah. Well, it might be her. I got a good feeling. Yeah. She said, I'm so sorry, Tommy, that I'm so late. Ow. Well, I love that girl, so I'll just wait. Help me sing it to her. I say, Texas Tina. Has anybody seen her? She's 5'2", her eyes are greener. And where does she live now? Well, she hails from a farm just south of Sagina, Texas. Yeah. Has anybody here seen my Texas Tina? Has anybody here seen my Texas Tina? I say, What? I said, no, Texas Tina. Ooh. Has anybody seen her? The sun right in my eye. I'm going, what?
All right. Gotta love some Texas Tina.
Yep. I think, you know what, Troy? I think I might have scared somebody doing that song. But hey,
I'm petrified.
Talk about your vocal harmonica little sound that you do along with some of the songs. Where did you come up with that?
Well, that kind of originated at the Fort Worth Stockyards a few years ago. And I noticed that a bunch of solos were playing the harmonica, and all of a sudden I tried it on stage live.
With a harmonica, for real?
Without a harmonica.
Oh, without.
And all of a sudden my throat did the same thing. Well, kind of, you know.
Yeah.
Depending on a good PA system, and it sounds, sounds all right. But that's how that came about. It kind of filled up a bunch of holes. And being a solo, you got to fill all the holes you can with your foot stomper, with your bass playing thumb, and your harmonica.
You're a one-man band, pretty much.
I hate being called a one-man band. It reminds me of some jingle jangle
with a bass drum on your back, couple cymbals up top.
a clown, in other words.
You know what I mean.
I know. I'm just.
Yeah. Well, before there's the yodel. You could always yodel.
Okay, I'm staring at two yodelers.
No, it's a good sound.
Thank you, buddy.
Yeah, you do it good.
Thank you.
That was good.
All right.
So, well, I think we've.
Dog's getting ready to come out. So my wife doesn't know we're doing it in the shed. So my crazy dog Artie's going to probably run in here and jump. But anyways, another great episode in the shed. What do you think, Troy?
Hey, we want to thank Tommy Kruger for being here in the shed on this sweaty day for sure. One of many to come.
What is today?
It's Monday.
Monday. Oh, that's the
June
hottest day of the
13th.
week.
Yeah,
No
yeah,
wonder.
Yeah, no shit. My
Yeah.
day sucked.
Oh, thank you, guys.
But we'll
Thank
close
you.
out the show and have another beer, and we'll see everybody next time on In the Shed. Thanks, Tommy.
You're welcome, both.
Thanks, Tommy.
Bye.